Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WCS Season 2 Finals. Now, this is game number 2 of the quarter-final between Jaedong and NaNiwa, and so far they've both been doing a pretty good job. NaNiwa was looking quite strong in the previous game, managing to hold off a lot of Jaedong's attacks, but in the end, Jaedong just got his army around him, and they got into a base race scenario, and it was starting to be a little bit clear that Jaedong just had a much larger army. And while NaNiwa had a better unit composition, he had a large amount of Colossus against Roach Hydras. I mean, Jaedong made it work into his favour because he forced a base race. So, sending Roach Hydras against a Colossus army, Roach Hydra's probably going to lose 2 or 3 units for every one that the Protoss loses, just because the Colossus are so awesome. But when you force your opponent into a base race scenario, and it's this army versus that army in terms of killing buildings, then suddenly Jaedong was in a much better position because he had a lot more units. And yeah, NaNiwa realized that, tried to split his army into half to defend his base, half to take out the Zerg's base, and he kind of failed in both fronts, just did not have the unit numbers that he needed, and a surprising amount of corruptors just coming out of left field, like 12 or 14 of the bloody things just suddenly they were there, and it's just like, wow, that's a lot of corruptors. So just wiped out all those Colossus, and yeah, really nice job there from Jaedong with a really nice plan. Just avoiding the army completely, going in the base when NaNiwa tried to go for an attack, and yeah, forcing him to he just could not handle that attack. I guess he couldn't just stay and go for a base race because he knew he was going to lose. He couldn't move back because half his base was going to be dead, and he needed to take out the Zerg architecture. And so he tried to do both at once, and he just completely fell over. And what the freaking hell is going on here? We do have a third base coming down in the Protoss Natural, and I mean, I don't know what the purpose of this is, because alright, let's think about it. He could build he couldn't even build Lings, man. I mean, because his thing isn't even up. So this is going to be a block. This is just going to be blocking their base, and I suppose it's the only building he can really build off the creep. So what he's going to do is he's going to cancel it at the last second and just sort of hold the Protoss up. NaNiwa's fine. He's not ultra needing that early base. He can afford to go on a little bit. You can see he's got the robotics facility coming on. So yeah, he should be fine. As long as NaNiwa keeps an eye on it. Jaedong keeps an eye on it and cancels it at the right time, which should be any second. There we go, come on, yeah, where's the cancel? If he lets this go up, that's going to be a major fail. He let it go up. Jaedong, what the hell, man? What the hell? Well, that's going to go down straight away. Some broodlings coming out. I do hope that wasn't his plan, but it does seem like the plan was just to delay it. And actually, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he did really want to let it go up. Because the fact is, alright, he loses an extra 200 or so minerals, because if he cancels it, then he gets about 250 minerals back. If he doesn't cancel it, then the creep stays there for a little bit longer. But I don't know, I mean, spending an extra 200 minerals just for an extra 20 seconds of creep spread, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. So I think he probably meant to cancel it and just forgot. He just missed out on doing that. So, because it makes no sense for him to let it go down. I mean, creep or no creep, it just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, NaNiwa finally going to be getting his base down at the 6-minute mark. So really holding it off nice and long. And look at this, a bunch of links coming in. So yeah, Jaedong is very interesting. I don't know, maybe he's going to check for a third. He's checking that maybe NaNiwa may have built over here when he suspected that this base was not yet a big build, which would actually have been a good choice, but the Ling's getting speed and they're going to come in here, but they're not going to get any further than this, I feel like. With the Mothership Core hitting them as well, they are all going to start to go down. And yeah, I don't know, maybe just making sure the expansion did go down so he can get his own third, which I suppose he's going to do at any second, really. But he has been enjoying the use of an extra base for quite that much longer than the Protoss player, and getting a ton of drones out of it. So yeah, right now he's looking very, very comfortable in this game. You did make that mistake. I feel like it is a mistake not cancelling the hatchery, but still, you know, I still feel like he's in a good position. That wasn't a massive, massive mistake. He did lose a couple of hundred minerals to it. That's about it, but he did buy himself an extra 20 seconds, so yeah. I mean, look at it. Is this completely walled off? Not quite. I think there's a space in there where the Zealot can get through, so yeah, we'll have to see. I'm actually quite surprised that Jaedong has not got a third base, because I mean, it really makes a lot of sense for him to get a third base right now. He's playing 2 base against 2 base, and that is a bad position for any Zerg player to be in. He really needs to get a third base ASAP. He's getting a ton of lings. He may be trying to finish this off really soon. Infestation Pit. I have no idea whether this will work or not, because I mean, lings, you just get a bunch of Zealots out in the front of your base, and unless he goes for Banelings or something like that, I really have no idea whether this is going to work. Here we go, the ling's going past, and suddenly NaNiwa has a whole bunch of stuff here, and he's looking very decisive. Looks like these guys going for a flank though, and this is going to be pretty good if he manages to get around the Immortals, which is exactly what he's going to do. And the Immortals getting trapped up against the wall, but getting lifted up by the Warp Prism. Very nice. And the Zealots finally getting taken out. The Immortals going to get taken out as well, although the Warp Prism doing a great job at keeping them alive. So that attack being knocked off, and really great defense by Jaedong, but the fact remains he still does not have a third base, and he's ahead on workers, but man, get a third base. I mean, there's really, I can't think of a good reason why he's not getting a third base. I really can't. There's just no good reason at all. I mean, even if he's going for some sort of crazy all-in infester build, or Swarm Host, it looks like a Swarm Host. Still, I mean, ultra fast Swarm Host. Maybe he is going to spend like 1,000 minerals on Swarm Host in the next minute or so. Yeah, there we go. A ton of Swarm Host coming out. An early Swarm Host, I don't think we've ever seen this as a viable build, but Jaedong may be thinking about it. He's got the Nidus Worm cut up, and I think the Phoenix actually saw the Nidus Worm. So yeah, he's going to have to watch out for that. Definitely does not want to see a Nidus Worm anywhere in the perimeter of these 2 bases. And here we go, Nidus Worm coming out there. So it's going to pop the Swarm House out nice and close. But I don't know. I mean, really, it might work. It might work. Phoenix seeing it, but it's just a little bit too late. And here we go, the Ling's coming over here. And another Nidus Worm coming out a little bit sooner. So this is maybe a variation on the Protoss putting up pylons all over the place. Jaedong's just putting out Nidus Worms all over the place. And here, I gotta say, this attack is definitely going to do some serious damage. I mean, he's been trapped inside his base really early. The only really good units versus Locust are the high-tech ones, Storm and Colossus. Everything else, not all that good. And I don't know what he's trying to attack, but he should just be attacking buildings at this point, because yeah, whatever he's trying to do right now is not working. So he needs to be just attacking those gateways, forcing it up. Meanwhile, NaNiwa's warping in a ton of units. These are the same 2 Immortals as before. And the Lings once again are going to have to defend their base. And these guys, they should really just attack the gateway, because they're trying to attack the Stalkers. Attack the gateways, you stop the reinforcements, and you open it up wide. Wide to get in there and just do all sorts of stuff. The Ling's taken everything out, and this base might actually go down, just maybe. Oh, it's going to be close, but an Immortal getting dropped down at the last second and still doesn't manage to take out the base. Very nice, but he is going to have to get some transfuses on this baby like really fast, and all the Queens are actually over there, so finally focusing on the gateways, and the gateways are all going to go down. Some force field's going to come down, but There we go. NaNiwa given the GG. He's completely besieged, and his frontal attack over there just did not work at all. Constantly getting knocked out by Lings. And I mean, if you're a Zealot and you get knocked out by Lings, then you are just the shame of your entire family. And it's just not good at all. So anyway, moving on. That is a 2-base Zerg play against Protoss. I've never seen it before, but it worked. I mean, it worked so bad. I mean, it took that solid siege pressure of the Swarm hosts, and it delivered it at the 12-minute mark in front of the Protoss expansion. And that is not something that's very easy to do, but Jaedong made it work with just Lings. He didn't go for Roach Hydra or anything like that, just Lings and Swarm hosts, and a whole bunch of queens as well. He got all these queens out there to put additional ranged pressure on, and there is absolutely nothing that NaNiwa could do about that. I mean, it's just impossible. It's impossible for him to see off that pressure. I mean, what you tell me what to do? I mean, maybe drop Immortals, get an Observer in there, drop an Immortal in the pack. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea, man. You drop the Immortals down after a wave just went off. You could hit 2 or 3 of the bastards down and then lift back up into your Warp Prism and boom, get the hell out of there. And that would have been really awesome to see. But he did not try it. His Immortals were out there on the other side of the map. I'm pointing at the screen and it's not quite working. So yeah, I mean, the Immortal drop into the back of the Swarm host, I think that would have been the best play. But I think NaNiwa was just too caught by surprise. He's just like, is just gone back into his oh shit, what the freaking hell is going on here mode. He's just it's like a deer in headlights, man. Your reaction time just goes way down when you see something this crazy going on. So there we go, and Jaedong taken out into game number 3, and he is 2-0 so far. So Jaedong quite seriously in front at the moment, and NaNiwa still has a chance to win this best of 5. But it is the slimmest of slim chances right now. He has to win 3 games in a row. And I don't know. I would not bet on NaNiwa winning this. I think Jaedong has got this well in hand. And if NaNiwa manages to win 3 games in a row, then it is going to be one of the most awesome things I have ever seen. But he was actually going for Colossus as well. He was just trying to get the Colossus out. But even Colossus, I feel like at this point, nah. It might have helped, but I don't think it would have done everything. So there we go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this, guys. This has been Hairy Muppet. I'll catch you guys in game number 3. Stay tuned for that.